Thank you for coming back to Kingship Podcast. For those of you who are new, my name is Jean Verdu. Jean Luino Verdu is my entire name. Kingship Podcast is a podcast that I put together to help boys, guys out there becoming men, to help them become men, to be productive in society, right? To be reliable, right? To be someone that their community, their family can rely on, can in times of need. You know what I mean? So that's why I formed Kingship Podcast. Is pretty much we take kingly characters and we discuss them, we look into them, and we try to pass them on to men of today for the sake of their families and their communities. All right. And as I said before, my name is Jean Luino Verdu. I am your host. I'll have occasionally guests on the show with me where we discuss again, what is it? What does it take to be a man? What does that look like in today's society? All right. That's what this podcast is about. This podcast is not about shaming female or anybody, right? This show, this podcast is about men becoming pillars, becoming foundations, becoming people that this country, their families, their communities can depend and rely on. That's what the show is about. You understand? So when we talk about anything relating to females or anything like that, we will not talk bad, downgrade any woman at all. Because any smart person understand it takes both the male and the female to get things done in this world. And what I mean by getting things done in this world, it starts in the family. So it takes a man and a woman, a single parent female or a man cannot raise a child on his own or on her own. Although, yes, we are pretty much focusing on men, but it doesn't mean that we're against female. We're smart enough to understand that we need women. All right? So today, what we're going to talk about is something that when I hear that people discuss these type of topics, blows my mind, right? And what is that? The topic is quite simple. We talk about, hey, before getting married, go out there, live your life, do what you got to do out there. That way, when you finally get married, you don't regret anything. It's stupid. I'll be quite honest with you. It is ridiculous to even think like that. I mean, come on, really. Okay, if you are the type who obviously doesn't care about marriage, don't want to be married someday, you know what? This isn't for you. You are correct. Go ahead, do what you have to do. However, if you're the type who believe that you would want to have a wife, right? You want to get married, you want to settle down someday, then let me ask you this. Why would you trying to give your spouse the rest of you, what's left of you, instead of the best of you? Why would you settle to give your spouse, your future spouse, what is left of you, rather than giving her the very best of you? Do you understand what I'm saying? How would you feel if your spouse were to come to you and giving you this type of news that, hey, this is all I have left of me, right? I have given everything I've got physically, emotionally, mentally to men, other men. This is all I have left, and you can have the rest. That's ridiculous, right? You would say, no, thank you. I would prefer to have the best of you. So then why are we doing it the other way around? Going out there, waste our lives physically, emotionally, mentally, giving ourselves to people that we don't care about simply for the sake of seeing what's out there. Let's enjoy ourselves so we don't have any regret when we get married. That's dumb. Of course, listen. Here are some regrets that society don't tell you that you will have once you finally get married, after you've wasted yourself physically, emotionally, and mentally. And sometimes also financially. Destroy your credit and all that. Then you now get married to someone who has to carry your sorry butt. Don't do that. Here are some regrets that you will have. You will come across someone that you will have some sort of relationship, whether sexual, physically, whatever, that you will wish that you didn't have. And that will most likely haunt your marriage. Even if it doesn't, someone else doesn't bring it up, it will always be in your mind. You yourself will be dominated by it. You will regret that you slept with that person. You will regret that you entered a relationship with that person, with that female. And here's another one. What about if your partner is doing the same thing, or was doing the same thing, I should say? Now is in a relationship with you, right? And you're finding out all these guys that she slept with. You'd be okay with that, right? You went to some sort of get together, some cocktails or whatever, and almost every now and then, wherever you go, you found someone she slept with. How would you like that? You wouldn't, right? Because it would be clear to you that she literally gave you the rest, whatever she had left. And that's unfair to you. Absolutely, of course it is. This is someone who's supposed to deliver the best of herself to you, right? So then why would you do the opposite? Like, why would you go out, not the opposite, the same thing. Why would you go out there, give the best of yourself, your youth, right? Waste it, and then trying to give someone else what's left of you? Again, if you are not planning to get married, that's absolutely fine. It's okay to do, because you don't want to have that type of lifestyle. You don't want to give your best to someone. I get that. You want to be wasteful all of your life. Hey, do you, guy. But if you are planning on having a marriage, a family, raising children, give your best to your spouse. Give your best to your spouse. Clubbing, sleeping around, trust me, it's nothing. You're not missing anything. It's not. I never understand that mindset. Give yourself out there, waste it emotionally, mentally, physically, and sometimes financially too. And then whatever's left, you'll give it to a spouse. I mean, come on. What are we, stupid? Kingship Podcast. These are some of the subjects that we attack. We bring these subjects down to common sense level. We need to understand what we're doing as men out there. We can't do that. And then when we turn around and have a daughter, then we trying to be the protector, the guy with the machete and the gun, and because we don't want a vagabond or some bad guy to come around and try to take out it. Man, stop it. So it's not okay for someone to do that to your daughter, but it's okay for you to do that to someone else's daughter. Listen, guys. You do not want to be wasteful in anything. I don't care if it's money. I don't care if it's time, especially time. We don't want to be wasteful with our body, with our mind, especially our minds. We don't want to be wasteful like that. And then the little bit of whatever value we have left, we want to offer it to someone else. and then tell that person, I love you with all of my heart. I love you with everything I own, I have, I am. Shut it, you idiot. If you've already been there, yeah, now it's time for you to correct that and devote yourself completely, utterly to your spouse. Yeah, you will have the regrets because you've already been there. But advise your son, stepson, to not do the same thing, to not repeat the same mistakes, and let them watch this video for them to understand the idea of going out there and enjoy yourself, waste yourself, be wasteful. That way, when you get married, you don't have any regrets, is completely bull. You will have more regrets then. Do not do this to yourself. Don't do this to your future spouse. Don't give that woman what is left of you, because you know for sure, you know it, you would not accept it from her. So let's not be hypocrite and do the same thing. Because society tells you if she does it, she's the B word, right? Or the H word, right? She's a slut or whatever you want to call it. But if you do it, you're a player. You're the man, you're the Mac, you're the... Stop. What you are is an idiot. Wasteful. In this channel, we are here. I'm here with you to help you, if you or have not been there, to keep you from falling into the same pit society have dig for you so you can fall into. I'm here to point those pitfalls to you to avoid them. And if you've already made those mistakes, I'm here to tell you you can still fix it. You can still correction. You can make correction to get on the right path. Guess what? I was one of those. Listen, I'm pretty sure you're probably asking yourself right now, why should I listen to you? Right? What I'm telling you right now, I've been through. I was wasteful out there. I did. And whatever I had left, I offered to my wife. That's how I realized it's stupid. You understand what I'm saying? Why should you listen to me? Well, guess what? I've been through adversity. I've been through so many things. Ups and downs, financial situations, family situations, all kinds of stuff. I've struggled with things. I've overcome so much. One that many of you may not think it's a big deal, but guess what? I was not born and raised in this country. And I'm sure if you listen closely, you will hear the accent from me. I wasn't born and raised here. I came to this country when I was 16 years old. Yeah. I struggled a lot to learn the language. And when I finally did, I made a promise to myself that I will learn this language and I will speak it just like the natives. And I think I've done a fairly good job at it. And then to push things further, I decided to join the military, the Army to be specific. I did that. Went to college. I did that. Got married, and this August will be my 11th year of marriage. Been married for almost 11 years. I've served in the military. Have 2 children. I've been to college. Have college degrees. Born and raised in a different country. All of these things I've went through, sickness, broken bones, and you name it. Played multiple different sports, and all of these things I have done, got over, learned from, have made me the man I am today. And with this type of resume, I want to help you course correction, correct your path, to put you on a better path to be more productive for your family, for your community, for your country. And also, if you have any nephews, younger brothers, step brothers, step sons, or it doesn't matter, any of that that needs to hear these words, that's what I'm here for. That's what Kingship Podcast is for. Because if you look at the statistics, especially fatherlessness statistics in this country, in the United States, you will be shocked of the things you find out as far as suicide rates. The homes without a father. Suicide rate is super, super high. The highest in youth suicide, that is. High school dropouts. The homes without a father, I should say the house without a father, have higher high school dropouts than any others. Guys who, or not just guys, actually, youth who have gone to prison. If you do your research, you will see the statistics will show you the ones who were without a father, more of them have gone to prison, to juvenile centers, than any other. So there's a direct correlation here between fatherlessness and failures in life. As a matter of fact, we in America here, we have this thing we usually talk about, daddy issues, father problems, right? That we can see that reflects in certain females. So don't be wasteful, right? Let's recap. Don't be wasteful and then expect to give the rest of you to your spouse, to your future spouse. And if you were that guy like I was, it's time to correct that. Do not continue in that mindset. And some of you have been wasteful. You got married and you still continue to be an idiot and being wasteful and giving yourself away to other females. We don't do that, kings. You understand? Well, you're going to say what? Kings have many wives and blah, 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 blah. Listen, I'm here to help. You don't have to listen to me. You don't have to. You're human beings. You have that priority. You can choose to not listen to me. But I guarantee you this. You continue to live like this. You continue to step outside of your marriage. You continue to be wasteful before marriage. The joke will be on you. When you mess up your marriage and you split and your children, right, are without a father and begin to fall within the statistics, remember Kingship Podcast warned you about that. This isn't a joke. This is life we're talking about here. For your sake, first of all, for the sake of your future children or for the sake of the children you have now, let's make the right choices, the right decisions. Let's not be wasteful. And if we were in our youth, let's begin to not be like that anymore. Let's begin to make corrections. Let's begin to take the correct path. Our children are watching and listening. These kids, they learn more from what you do than from what you say. Trust me. So, please, let's not be wasteful. And if we were, let's correct that. Thank you so very much for watching and listening to Kingship Podcast. I will do my best. I have to be honest with you. I will do my best to be with you weekly. Sometimes things happen, but I will try to push to be with you weekly. And if you are a female watching this, you have a husband, you have a cousin, a brother, somebody, a friend, really, that you know he should listen or watch this video, please share it with him, like it, subscribe, because we have more, much more coming. Tons more coming. All right? Thank you again. You are watching Kingship Podcast.